think we are just about ready to begin. What do you guys think? Shall we? I mean, all it takes is a push of a button here. It says intro. So once that, oh my God, we're starting. Oh dear God, oh heavens. Hello and welcome to today's stream. I promise you there's something that's going to be on the screen. We're going to be looking over some work we did yesterday. I want to update you guys with some more tempo stuff since I think I am leaning away from tempo the more I think about it, as much as I loved it. My name is Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you had a wonderful day. I had a rough one. I was kind of like crashing out in the middle of the day. I was so tired. I went out, got me an energy drink, and I feel a lot better, but I have a feeling I'm going to be up till 4 in the morning. Hello, Alex. Chill Bill has made it. Zach is here as well. Hello, Justin. And Dingus is here too. I submitted my... Okay, so I want to say this. It's Totempo. Yeah, maybe. I might in the future only open the final works submissions maybe a week or 2 weeks in. Because I want you guys to spend time on your designs. I think that, at the end of the day, it's for fun, right? But I still want you guys, even if it's, there's no prize or anything, I want you guys to spend time and, really flesh out and develop your ideas, right? I say that because once I get this working, I don't know why this program's been kind of ass. It was like this yesterday. But we have here a couple of directions for Tropius. So whether or not I call it Pitropius or whatever it is, I did I did spend time, waited a whole night, one night, before even so not even a full day. But like I said, do whatever you guys want. But I think in the future, I'm going to set kind of a I guess it's not so much a hard cap, but truly to have you guys sit down and go through your work. No work in the history of the world is submitted overnight. What's up, VV? And hello, JC. I was promised eternal youth. That was a fako, whoever said that. I'll start working on my submission later today. Yeah, take your time with it. We have a whole month. I posted these A, B, and C, and I got some interesting comments. Only 2 comments. We're gonna go through it. The first comment was Ogly, O-G-L-Y. Maybe they said ugly. I don't know what to say to that. Maybe it is ugly, but with some time, I'm going to go ahead and make it more pretty. We'll see. And then the second one was, I guess it already represents summer. It'd be cool if you took the silhouette and transformed it into a convergent species. So this guy is jumping ahead to the next month, but they weren't there for the stream, I'm assuming. That's okay. So we'll do convergent next month. That said, when I look at these designs, I did flesh out just a little bit on my own over here, this middle one. I bumped up the saturation for the yellow, which I really like. I brought back the orange here, just like because Tropius has the yellow here as well. And it allows the fruit to feel like it's a separate entity from the creature. And that kind of makes it feel a little more like it's an accessory and not a true piece of the design, right? With Tropius, it's a nice bit that stands out right in that green and brown. So I also brought that second pair of wings to the back for B, and I really like it. I think the play here is not to go too different, because that's what the regional variants, again, there are exceptions, right? I also, if you can see, adjusted the pinks a little bit for now it's like a little more red. I'll keep messing around with it. I'm going to take little bits of each of them, and I will more or less kind of whittle it down, and I think it's going to be really cool. in regards to Tropius already being tropical, it's in the name. I think it's okay to create another one that still feels tropical. You know, it's not a big deal. I thought for a quick second, should I maybe do something else and maybe take a concept that isn't tropical and make it tropical? But, you know, I opted out against it. I decided, all right, you know what? I gotta make my life as easy as possible. I wouldn't say, in a way, the middle one is more saturated, especially that yellow part. But in hindsight, when you look at the previous color, it looked too dingy, you know, to be something that feels like a tropical vibe, right? So I'll keep messing around with it. If I really feel like I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm not feeling in love with this design or super inspired by it, I might do another stream where we try and find something. But chat, okay, cool. So we've got our people in here. Welcome, welcome. While we have this up, I like B, but A looks more like a regional. Yeah, and you know why? That's because the wings feel a little more traditional. It might have to be, obviously, I think at the end, it's going to be a good mixture of the elements that I really like from each one of them. And I'm going to really sit down and take time, study what, you know, makes a regional feel like, you know, a regional, not to convergent. How much leeway do I got? Is it in the shape? Is it in the color? Etc., etc. But, you know, I always appreciate all of your guys' feedback. Next up, chat. So, as you guys can see for the thumbnail, we will be working on this ugly guy. This is like this is a movie called Bigfoot. Alice Cooper's a musician. So you got Danny Bonaducci, Barry Williams, and Sherilyn Fenn. Bigfoot and Alice Cooper. So I put this guy here. It kind of fits because this is like a massive looking guy. But the idea is this Bigfoot is going to be the middle stage right for the Kong line. So we will quickly kind of go over that. Up to silhouette. Yeah, exactly, dude. I was looking at silhouette. Great thought there. You have Bigfoot. You know what? You say that as a joke, but it could be a fun way to, you know, bring a little character. So looking at the designs over here, we're going to be looking at one last thing before we actually get started. I want to go through the backlog. I was thinking before I do more, you know, creatures, I still got to figure out the name, right? Because I don't want to, like, go into new designs until a name is kind of sorted, and I'm almost there. We were talking a couple of days before. I said to you guys, I'm not sure if I love Potempo. I did love Potempo. In fact, I still do. I always go back and forth where I'm like, well, Potempo could have that Po element in it in homage to Pokemon, but I don't want to have to deal with, you know, people are going to be rude to me. We're going to be like, oh, you're just making a rip-off. That's so sad. Or you're lazy. You're this. You're that. And at the end of the day, do you have to care about music's too loud? Let me go ahead and fix that for you guys. Change it from the other day. Oh yes, it was. I apologize. Okay. So let me know if that works. Thank you for letting me know, Zach. I'll say this about the Potempo name, right? When it comes to Potempo, and anything you do as far as design, the moment you kind of have doubts or hesitate, you have to be 100% in love with something, right? If you have to keep convincing yourself, like maybe if you're dating someone, you're like, oh, you know, that's kind of a red flag, and you ignore it, you know. Now, obviously, this is not exactly like that. Exactly. People will talk no matter what. The potential connection alone is good enough. I agree so hard. I agree so much. I do love that. With Potempo, though, it's really like something that exists inside of me that I wish I could get rid of. And that's what kind of like kills me. So I really sat down and I started thinking of other names, and let me know once it's loaded in for you guys. I started thinking about the capture device, right? Because we spent a whole week working on characters, and I really do love the characters and their updates, right? We have a lot more work to do. I'm going to continue to work on the designs. Hello, Dr. Crowbar. What if you had just one large big toe? Also not a bad idea. We have Ryan. Rindira, the rival character, Elwin McMagnus, some generic Link wannabe kind of dude. So I would say that as I look across these characters, and there are more characters to come, uh, I still need to define the look feel of the world in itself, right? So that might be something to do as well. But I sat down and I really, really started thinking about what the name is, right? With Totem involved. It may still be Potempo one if, down the line I'm feeling like, okay, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But I did sit down and mocked up for each of the ones that, and we'll zoom in and check it out now. I also sat and thought about the capture mechanics and the capture device as a whole, right? Because when I'm looking at these names, I also think about the capture device and like the creatures themselves and whatever the O-Tempo creatures are. Even O-Tempo could be a decent name. The nature of the property is that it's a creature collector, and this is a catch-all name, no pun intended, for the creatures themselves. Bro Tempo with Brody Jones. I was thinking for one moment maybe I could do Bo Tempo as a nod to Bon Stirs, but again, I don't want to put my name in there. Hello, Rec. What if the rival character doesn't have a name? You get to name them. That's true too, but I would still want to give them a canonical name as well if I were to go that way. So, I have a bunch of variations, and I put Totempo at the top, maybe not in the final color, and I also have it is important when you're doing brand to look at it from multiple angles, right? A different kind of font helps, the kind of lowercase versus uppercase here. So I'm going to quickly go, hello Maximus, welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to quickly go through a lot of these, and I'm going to break down my potential reasoning because I thought I was super set on Totempo, and I still do like Totempo. In fact, when I think about Totempo and Potempo, hello everybody, hello Draco. I do like Totempo versus Potempo because when you do say Potempo, I do love that rhythm in the PTP, Potempo. However, Potempo sounds a little almost too cutesy, and it's going to sound a little bad when I go to one of my favorite names on this list. And cutesy kind of works for that name. But when I think about Potempo, again, I can't help but think of Pokemon. But anyway. Botempo sounds too much like a suit fashion design? That's a take. So, the first one. Think about this one. Botempo. Now, I like faux tempo a lot. Faux tempo has a similar, cadence to, of course, Potempo. And you have a photo element. Why? We talked about it briefly. Someone had mentioned it, but this is a kind of a known thing. Now I'm saying spirit photography. And I was thinking about capture mechanics and different kind of things. Here's this kind of spirit weave kind of trap that I was thinking maybe could be an interesting thing for the visuals. I'll talk about this boomerang kind of element. And then I was thinking, what if I made the capture device one hand a flashlight kind of thing, and then the other a photo? And it's kind of like this Breath of the Wild style camera, where it's like an ancient camera, and it prints out kind of a Polaroid, so to speak, and that's where your Fotempo is captured. So Fotempo is this really cool concept where I get to build that into the name. There's still totem, it's photography, like spirit photography. And I really, really like this direction. It still has the P there. And I will always go out of my way to find drawbacks. That's just what designers do. You can't just pretend everything you shit out is gold. There's this fun thing where I have in the two O's, I can turn it into like a camera-like symbol. So you have Fotempo over here, which is really fun. Fotempo is this really cool combination. It's a very strong you know, choice for me now. I got to play around with this concept with the camera and the flash. Maybe I like the idea of having two analog things, right? Analog is something that's really important to me. Um, you know, when I think about anything as far as the animation side, and I'm picturing if it's, if it might be a staff and the character's waving the staff around, or if it's the camera and it's around their neck. There's just like there's a lot of cool things that I can play with that name, as well as the capture mechanic in itself, right? I can see the character kind of going around. Maybe the look feel is like they look like newsies, and they're like, trying to capture these cryptids that live into the world, right? So you have faux tempo as an option. Then you have faux tempo with an F. Now this one I did just to explore cutting down the ph and simplifying it. I think the issue with this is I feel like it reads like a tempo, but I guess maybe not. Faux tempo would just be a shortened version of like photo with an F. Tell me about the yokai watch scanner thing, because I want to make sure I can still create my own unique thing, right? So with faux tempo, that's not really something that I think will stick, but alternate exploration is extremely important. Can't just go with the one. So that's why faux tempo, and then the second with the F is there. Yo tempo. So I sat there and went through my keyboard, and I'm trying to find and look for different things, and one that I didn't really think about was yo tempo. So when I look at yo tempo, and I played with some triangles in there. The triangles, if anything, could go into like go tempo, which is now a huge, not so much 1900s, but like that vibe would be really cool, right? Where if you go back and the characters kind of feel, more or less, again, like a tribal urban is like the thing I'd been kind of going with. But anything period also makes things feel really unique, right? So that could be a switch up altogether, right? That said, yo tempo, I don't really see it being a final choice for me, but I do like the way a lot. Yo tempo in the play buttons. That's a good point, which is why it should have been in the go tempo section, but regardless, yo tempo just sounds nice. Like it just sounds like yo tempo. It just has like a nice sound to it. Again, I don't really think it's a true option. Now, go tempo is one I talked about before, and now go tempo. I think I dismissed it too quick last time. So when I look at go tempo, I really like the go kind of working with the tempo, right? And then the fact is having got 'em is in there as like a little nod. So if Pokemon is not as much in this one, to have got 'em as in like you're catching these spirits built into the name is like a really nice mwah kind of moment, right? So with go tempo, I like very much the pacing to it. It feels like you got to go in on your adventure. Go tempo, up the tempo, build it up, which kind of also leans into the next one of mo tempo. Mo tempo is exactly how it sounds, right? You need more tempo. More tempo, build it up, build up your relationship, build up your tempo with your creatures, and that's how they evolve. So I really like mo tempo as well for the same thing as go tempo. I like mo because the M kind of comebacks for the tem part. So you have mo tempo. There's a nice kind of movement to there, right? As far as alliteration, mo tempo. Go tempo, I also really like because it's three different things, right? GTP. So go tempo. Now, the last one is zo tempo, which I did chat about briefly last time. And so I guess visually I'll move a few of these out of the way just to show the ones that really have the most amount of legs. So I'm going to move mo tempo. I'm going to remove faux tempo, as in with the F. I'm going to remove yo tempo. And so the final runnings really is toe tempo, faux tempo, go tempo, and zo tempo. And when I look at these names, I don't really miss potempo. I really do like it. Of course, of course, of course, as I said. But like there is like a something here for sure. Um Now, I do believe whatever I end up designing to be the capture device, I'm gonna move faux tempo, not necessarily to actually, you know what, I'll do it like this. I'm gonna move faux tempo to the bottom. If I end up doing like a camera kind of system to capture the devices, I still haven't heard if the if it's similar to the Yokai Watch scanner thing. If it is, then I probably will drop it. But I think between say toe tempo, go tempo, and zo tempo, those are all three very great options. I like the totem part of totem pole because, as JC saying, toe tempo just feels like totem pole incomplete. That is true. That is a knock on it, but you can still get total in there, like the totality of these creatures make up the totem, right? One by one. And it's like, you know, they're incomplete without you. Go tempo, simple. Up the tempo, right? You're in this world of creatures. And as far as like creatures in this vast world, to go and catch them, I like that go tempo, right? Zo tempo. Now, zo tempo, when you look at it, looks the most kind of like mysterious, right? I can't really find a true how do you say, I can't really see a meaning behind the X. I know someone said Xeno, but that feels a little forced. If anything, I think the closest that I feel for the X is what I always say to anyone who asks me about, oh, Bonnie, how do you go about your world building? And I always tell them, no matter what, and same with your like main characters and whatnot, they need to have an X factor. And so I quite like Zo Tempo, because the X represents like the X factor of these creatures. We don't know what they are. They're unknown. X on the spot of this world map that we can't see. So part of me really, really does love Zo Tempo for the way that X can like denote a lot of different things. So a lot of these are, I might even make this into a poll for tomorrow. So EXO for love, as in you love your Zo Tempo. Yeah, I mean, that's possible if someone wanted to say that. It wouldn't be my main thing, but like I like for existing things to get their own interpretations by the fans, right? Hold up. Tempo works really well, says Ninja. In Yokai Watch, no one can see yokai unless you have a watch, which is a feature that is a light scanner to spot yokai in areas like trees under bleachers. It's basically a flashlight too. So, what do you guys think? If I were to make faux tempo a reality, right? That would change up quite a bit the world, which I don't hate. It's when I look at say faux tempo and I'm saying, oh, these creatures are creatures that live in the spirit world in a layer beyond our own. The only way to capture them is with like a photo. Another thing I don't love is if I go this route, the capture vessels I think should easily be Polaroids, right? It seems very obvious. In fact, I'll start sketching it. However, I am aware that with in the tem, right, you got temtems, and I was looking up the various kind of the various kind of capture devices that exist in many of the games, and in Temtem they got something called Tem cards, I believe. So I'm not so much bothered by Tem cards, but it is very similar to what I would picture would be the creatures in my world. I would want to do something like maybe kind of like this pseudo like floppy disk kind of thing that it prints it out, and I could design it and it would look really cool. Um, and each one you plaster it and it would be perfect into your album, right? So you're waiting to capture all these spirits that exist in the world, um, kind of like you're like a cryptid hunter, right? Which essentially that's what Yokai Watch is. So having that Yokai Watch scanner thing, I want the Yokai fans to tell me, oh, it's really similar. It's not, but it would be really cool if these were like digital pages or something, and then you stick your, your Polaroids or your Photoroids or something, whatever I end up calling it, um, into your album, and then it registers in the book. I quite really like that. It like really writes itself, right? Again, the vibe of this world would change quite a bit if I go this route, which I'm totally for, since that's what this entire process is. Go tempo for ghost and tempo. That's true, but they're not ghosts entirely, but I can see where you're coming from with that. Still a fan of tempo too? Me too, man. Um, okay, let me go through this. Hold on, faux tempo works really well. Honestly, I truly think faux tempo works best. I think it's a matter of the simplicity really help. I like the symmetry of faux tempo, and the T could just be a totem pole logo. I did have a totem pole kind of bit in the previous logo, but it felt like it was standing out too much. Obviously, I think I could spend some more time on the logo, but if I do go the photo route, I don't think I would really focus as much on the totem part, because I think the photo would be the really big aspect, right? So it would probably be, this is like the bigger part of the logo for the photo part. I like the photo thing. Exotic, says Maximus. That's true. You do have that as well. Um, ooh, I like that. That's a nice case for that. There could be a whole camera-like thing for Pokemon Snap. Still have no idea what's going on. No problem. We can watch from the beginning. Zombie. We're just figuring out a new name. So almost like the game book thing subjectively is making. What is that like exactly? Mine. But Tempo is a perfect name. It's perfect, but I'm worried about connections to Pokemon. What I'll do is this. Yeah, because again, if I were to show you guys, it's just my own insecurity, for better or for worse. And look, if I were to, and I'll probably put like a poll on my Instagram. I'll probably put a poll on, you know what? I'll do it for tomorrow. I'm like, if everyone still likes Potempo, I'll keep it. But again, with Pokemon, I just don't want that to basically look. One way or another, people are going to say, oh, it's a rip-off of Pokemon, even though it's homage to Pokemon and most monster tamers. I don't want to go out of my, I don't want to say go out of my way. I don't need to invite the conversation, that it's similar. Um, and, I understand if you guys don't understand it from my perspective. It's not. Just try to think from my perspective as the creator and the kind of anxiety and worry I feel, right? Like, I know you guys can say, Bonnie, don't worry, but like, yeah, it's not like saying don't worry won't make me worry anymore, right? I have to kind of feel that, right? I do know it's enigmorphs, but I forget how it's like. Are the creatures captured in photos? Are the creatures captured in books? I forget. I remember watching those videos. So if Fotempo is too close to that, I have no problem leaning away from that. So let's see. I can send the videos in Discord. Yeah, if anyone wants to just check it out real quick for me. Discord prompts missions. Nice. They're called enigmorphs, but enigmorph is great too. So it's a little too similar for me to feel like comfy, if that makes any sense. Now, again, I'll just do a poll anyway, and I think regardless of what the poll says, what I'm comfortable with is what I'll go with at the end of the day. But take care, JC. I think they have to be specifically drawn to be captured. That's pretty cool. Um, so one way or another, I think it's important to kind of have these moments where you look through, and yeah, when you look at it like this, it is very similar, right? You have the M's right here, there's O's right here, you got the pose right here. I know that we all like it. I like it too. When I pitched it, I was nervous, and I was like, why am I nervous? I like this name. There's a reason behind it. Um, and yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you can't shake that gut feeling, hello, late, welcome in, welcome in. Um, it's worth sitting there and giving it a second look and whatnot. So that's why I mostly want to change the name as much as I love it. But like I said, it's not like it's being changed too far or anything. And looking at all of these with Totempo, and it's just basically totem pole, it's not the most creative, right? As nice as the t sounds for like Totempo, it is just totem pole. I'm not really getting much out of this right here. With Go Tempo, like, I like this. There's a lot of energy in the name. Go out into the world and catch them. Go and raise your tempo, right? How you are in sync with these creatures, and then they will reach their potential. Because I can always say the po part is the potential. So we don't lose potential, which I love, right? So go, tempo. I also like that GTP element. Each syllable has a very distinct g, t, p. Finally, having got them in the middle, like you're capturing them, is just beautiful. So next up, Zotempo. Basically over here, I really like the case that someone made for exotic with XOT there in the front is great. X is an X factor that describes that these creatures are unique. We don't know what they're capable of. And then I love that it even looks and feels very tribal. They feel not alien, but unknown, right? That's what the X could stand for as well. So I think Zotempo really is a fantastic choice for me as well. In fact, the more I look at it, the more I don't love Totempo, which is why I chose Potempo over Totempo a while back, right? Because I was like, well, Totempo is just totem pole without the LE. Potempo at least had the PTP. But this also has the XTP kind of sound, Z to P. And then finally, if I were to go a complete route with the photos, then you have Fotempo, which would be the go-to if I come up with a really awesome system that feels fun, unique, and that like letting it go, Go Tempo really reminds me of Pokemon Go. I guess I can see that. I can see Pokemon Go Tempo, Pogo. So honestly, now that that's in my head, Go Tempo might be like less of a thing. I really, really like Zotempo quite a bit. So if you go the Polaroid route, you can make it time for the photos to develop and charge people extra to make it go faster. Yeah, that's the DLC. I really love when games have the camera stuff like Alola did. Makes you feel like you're a part of the world. I agree. I absolutely agree. I might have to... Can someone go through the subjectively videos? For sure confirm if... Because I don't want this to be too similar to Jax, right? Where if I am doing a thing where there's a Polaroid and you have to like take a photo of these creatures. Oh crap, the thing is Jack's world is very much set in a different kind of time period that's similar to this too. So I don't want to step on his toes. So I might not go this route because he's also in that kind of like 1920s era, see, where you've got like all this kind of bludgeoning technology on the rise and all the yada yada yada. Look at this cute rat I found outside. So I may not go this route if it's too similar to Jack over at Subjectively's Enigmorphs. I do like these like digital Polaroid type of things. What's cool is they kind of look like, I could kind of make them look like floppy disks. Yeah, someone go through it and just let me know. And then it could even be a, rather than, it could be just like a flat like slate, and maybe like the books or the pages are like holographic. You shuffle through them, you know. There is a nice visual to this, so let me know. That said, I'm gonna finally get into the art. Let me know one last time if you guys like, and I'm thinking I'm leaning to Zotempo personally. Let me know one last time if you like Zotempo the best, Go Tempo, or Zotempo, or if you feel like there's a lot of legs for this faux tempo element. Although I don't love the thing about faux tempo is, now to be fair, I could still use the photo capturing system and not have them called faux tempos, because now I'm calling the creature based on the device, or not the device, but the item, the photo, right? So it could still be Zotempo and you still use a camera to capture the Zotempos. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, Legend of Korra is far from, you know, the first people to kind of do that kind of stuff. But yeah, essentially something like that. Tempo, because you pulled the Potempo. So yeah, you guys let me know. I like Zotempo. Time for the Sasquatch. Exactly. Make it more toy-like so you can pick. Exactly right, Billy. I'm not gonna lie. As I've said before, when you're creating stuff like this, you have to really think about marketing, right? You've got the Pokeballs, you've got Digivices. How can, you know, if I'm pitching this to someone, I can say to them, well, you can market through toys and TV shows and have people collect stuff. And so with Zotempo, I think it's, again, the most exotic. There's that exotic air in the name. I really have come to like it quite a bit. Okay, so I'll figure out the capture stuff little by little. In the meantime, let me know if you guys can see. I'm going to work on a cell phone to capture them. So I'm going to quickly go through the designs I've done of the big three. So, and especially when I look at the final designs, I see exactly how, when I do these reworks, how I'm going to more or less like fix, say, the middle stage here, or simplify the third stage, right? And that's what the fun part is with all this kind of stuff, where I'm looking at the pacing of my monsters, right? So here we have the Cthulhu line, which is the only thing, only line of the three that have like a full line. Rotempo, and there's everything Rotom. Make it Bone Tempo and turn to, nope. All right. Here we have the Sasquatch line, right? Or specifically, I guess, King Kong line. And so here's like a version of Bigfoot that I'll be working on. And since it's the middle stage, if anything, you know what? I'll probably rework the monkey, the skunk ape form. And then we'll go into Bigfoot, because I really can't stand the way the little monkey guy looks. And then we will also work on the middle form for the Godzilla line today. Let's see if we find the final designs, or at least the final, when I say final, I mean, what's the word, chat? Pre-final? Let's begin. I'm gonna bring up the scrapped Potempo page, because this will be really nice. And this is why, you know, you guys know I'm always like saying, take your time, do this, do that. Nothing is perfect on its first go. I I have all these versions of designs that may come back in some way. They might spawn something in my mind soon. Whatever it is, um, I quite like the level of um, history I'm kind of saving here that I can maybe put into an art book. You know, kind of like a little time capsule. I could be like, oh, that's what this creature looked like before I adjusted it, etc., etc. So I'll go ahead and we'll quickly work on this guy. And if you guys got ideas, oh, that's what I can do while I'm drawing. If you guys can help me get an idea for, say, this line, right? I still need a basis for the baby lizard. And ideally, if you guys can find mythos that have a visible difference, right? So, for example, the Kasai Rex doesn't really have descriptions on what it looked like that I can use as inspiration. They're like, oh, it's just a T-Rex, right? Um, I need something more specific. So anything like that would be really helpful. For example, I have Honengyo here, which I will say I could see myself using the Honengyo just because it's Japanese inspired line, right, with kaiju. So I don't entirely mind because I've been saying there's like a little too much yokai in my game world. It feels like, um, but I digress. So Cthulhu, let's go. Thinking about changing Bounce Sweet line from a Monarch theme to an Amazonian. That would be really sick. This might be too Pokemoning, but what if instead of a tail skunk ape has a cloud of skunk gas? I don't dislike that, but the thing is, it would need to be like an ever-present kind of skunk tail, which is like pretty stinky. It would be like this forever, just chamber of gas being released, which I don't know, doesn't sit right with me. I mentioned before, but using other Godzilla kaiju like Shinto Space Godzilla for the other stages, that is true. That is actually a great point. Is there a baby Godzilla kind of thing that I could potentially use? I guess if there's one person that knows, it's got to be our boy Draco. Okay, so I'm going to try and get his ears going like this. Now that reminds me very slightly of Quetzalcoatl with all of its jewelry. Which one? All of these creatures have got the helmets. For the lizard, I wonder if a final version of these will be less that it's like full totem heads, and more like wooden masks. That way the creatures can kind of feel a little more lived in. Like maybe like you can have his ear here and the monkeys. You know what? Maybe I will try that out just to see. And I think if I do that, it could be this really fun kind of way to have the heads carry just a little more personality. Rather than having it fully engulfed in the mask. Which, again, I don't hate. And I feel like that is pretty unique. It's really having you sit there and be like, what is hiding under there, right? Over here, if we see that there's like a monkey kind of hiding under here, and granted, the rest of the monkey is visible. It's not like we're sitting here like, I wonder what's behind the helmet, when you can clearly see like monkey-like limbs and the face has got features. But that's what, again, all this is for, right? This exploration stuff. And again, I gotta figure out the rules, right? What color will the wood be? Are they always the same color? Are they always this? Are they always that? Having that consistency and really defining the rules is a huge element I'm trying to lock down before. And chat, I'm telling you, the development that I'm doing has been like ramping up more and more. As I've been saying, it's the summer of Potempo for me. Guess I gotta change that. Um, and I really want to get this pitch going, right? By the end of, it's already July. I would love, like, by the end of July, if I could have, like, my capture devices down, the human characters kind of down, the name finalized. I probably should spend some time, maybe. Maybe I'll do it next week. This week we'll do monster designs again, but like, chat, tell me about what kind of environments do you want to see me design? Do you want me to, like, say, design the main village? Maybe I can design where the battles take place. Maybe I can design what the Potempo world kind of looks like. Um, I think all of that is very important to try and figure out, you know? And that's probably all stuff that I can do for next week. So let me know, okay? Man, it's been a whole week since I drew Potempo. And it is pretty cool that, like, I do have, like, a look feel for them. I think all of them are gonna have, like, yellow eyes. Yellow is really bright, so even underneath the mask, it can kind of, like, light up. And then, like, yellow is like this powerful energy to it, especially if it leans kind of gold. Like, what's in there? It's gold that's shimmering. For the lizard, Zilla is a thinner raptor like Godzilla. You could use the American Godzilla. Oh yeah, that's true. Welcome back with Pizza. Pete'Zilla. Pete'Zilla just sounds like a guy named Pete Zilla. There's been a case where Pokemon has a second dual typing but changed the dual type as it evolved. Dartrick has. I kind of want to see you do a snowscape. Went from grass flying to grass ghost. That's true. Just run from bug. Yeah. And it works in context, right? Where the Pokemon, in the case of a bug, bugs go through tons of metamorphosis, so that really makes sense, right? Maybe I could do for the Godzilla one, right? Maybe I do something like maybe he'll have like small feet and then he'll evolve into like the Bigfoot guy, right? And then let's give his tail the big skunky tail. Yeah, I like this guy a lot better this way. He's kind of like rubbing the back of his head. Speaking of Potempo, I have an idea for the non-legendary will. Zotempo is going to be too... I know, right? Although I'm not sure if it's going to lean towards it or not. EV Complete changes the type multiple times, and that's its whole gimmick, right? Even about making Bounce Week originally grass poison, then turns into grass fighting. Inkeda went from bug ground to either bug flying or bug ghost. I love that line so much. I didn't realize with July, so I'm going to become a camp intern soon. Hey, okay. Let's go. My mom and stepmom and grandma, all the women in your life, happy birthday to them. Camp intern is also going to be really fun. And I do got to say, as far as like, you guys are bringing up these Pokemon that evolve quite a bit. To me, those are some of the most fun creatures. And I think that's where Zotempo... I'm going to chat. What I'll do is I'll try and say Zotempo today. And we'll see how it sounds, if it's fitting. I'm really leaning into Zotempo, honestly. But more or less, when it comes to anything like, can I tell you the idea? Yeah, if you want. Anything that shows like growth and progress, like to me, obviously it's not a bad thing either when Pokemon retain their types, right? Like you might like a certain type combo and you're hoping it's that, and then it changes, and but like narratively speaking, how it designs and how it's designed and evolved will truly affect the nature of um its typing. So it makes sense for a bug, right? And the kind of evolution bugs go through, where like Surskit becoming a flying type is really fun. It might put a wrench in things if you're trying to make a certain team and whatnot, but like variety is the spice of life, right? Um, what do you guys think of this kind of tail? Pretty cute. And then yeah, you know what? I'll have it like that. And then black there, white there. The tail really gets to shine a little better now. Maybe I should do different color wood masks. So this guy could have like a gray or maybe even a white one. It would really change up the vibe. It looks a little too ghost with the white though. So maybe let's do let me do that instead. Oh, and then skunks have like crests, so let me just do like the paint mark that looks like this. And then I'll make its fingers just a little darker. And same with its feet. There we go. I think this is a much better design. So the skunk ape is the first in the line. Now the next one is going to be, well, how do I do it? At the very least, let's give him like a nose. In fact, I'll do that. Okay, that's perfect. Simplicity is sometimes the best thing you can do. There you go. How's that? That's pretty cute, chat. I think so anyway. Monkey Town. All right, so let me send this guy to the Shadow Realm. See you later. All right, so we got the Monkey Man. I actually want to do one thing, which is I'm going to make its body a little smaller for that, like a little more of a chibi feel to make him look like a younger, like baby form, right? In fact, I can even take this, erase that just a little bit, retransform, make it a little bigger. There you go, baby time. Skunk ape. Damn. First stage. Oh. Wait, this is for the god one? I have an idea for the non-legendary. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. No wonder you said should I wait. I thought you were referring to the for the non one. Moby the white whale in its prime, second stage the stockle. I'll have to know. You know what? I might do that line tomorrow. So we'll hold on to that. I actually have an idea or two for those lines. So I'll talk about what I got. But I do like using Moby Dick quite a bit. He is a more Western. Is he Western? But like he's like another modern era mythology, right? Sonic Tail go brrr. We need more evolutions. I'm calling it, chat. I'm telling you guys, we're getting a dragon type evolution for Gen 10. Mark my words. I'm liking these designs so much that I might turn them into starters from a Fakemon region. I would prefer you not to do that. I want to keep these for my own personal thing. Um, I would appreciate if you didn't use these for a Pokemon project. Almost like a spin dash. Tilt his head for a bit more personality. Of course, Billy, I got you. Even before seeing that, I got you. Imagine a Pokemon game where the professor's deadbeat, but isn't like your stereotypical deadbeat. He'll at least give you something before leaving. That would be crazy. And then you're kind of like without a mentor. And then maybe like you end up becoming the professor by the end of the game. Something like that. Changing the color of his mask would be really cool. Help make your Zotempo special from another. Cute skunk ape, monkey the best man. I feel like he needs a knife. Stabby monkey. A real good stabbing knife to use. To make PB&J, I'm sure. You know what? I will play for sure with mask types. I will, of course, play with the paint types. I also still have to figure out truly what the domains do, you know? So now it's time for Sasquatch slash Bigfoot. Now, knowing that the final form will look something like this mandrill, King Kong, ape-like entity, I have a better idea of what that middle stage is going to do, or rather, excuse me, look like. When I do look at these two, and that's why I had trouble with Sasquatch slash Bigfoot last time, it's because I didn't really have a point of reference, right? I had only an idea of what the final form was going to look like. So by now having something at the end, I can kind of fill in the blanks, right? That's kind of like the strength. You know what, chat? What is this? Can someone search in Photoshop what this is and why it comes up? It's been bothering me. It only comes up, look, if I go to my eraser, it's there. If I have my brush, it's there. But if I click for this tool, like the mouse cursor tool, it goes away. There's one random thing. A strange little guy. I don't know what you're trying to do here. But I'll figure it. Okay. Sasquatch slash Bigfoot. Now, this doesn't mean that the final form is going to need to have a big foot. Okay? Just this guy does. It could be a big toe, as we said earlier today. There's a lot of different things you can do. And the more fun kind of things that we can find to incorporate, the better for its own point of reference. So why don't we make, I guess, the legs kind of like the main focus, right? The legs and the feet. I also want the top part to kind of feel less as far as like a, here, let me zoom out for you guys. That looks good, right? So we can kind of see big guy's face and little guy's face. I want him to feel really matted and, you know, truly like the cryptid to end all cryptids. He could have the same kind of fur tuft. He could, I think I want to like really kind of have a similar face as the previous form. I like the idea of like maybe his eyes kind of hiding behind, you know? Maybe he's like smiling. He's like big chilling. He's gotten free of his mask. And of course we have that famous pose. So I wonder, should I be using the pose? It would immediately kind of tell people. Yeah, does that mean that I do? I also feel like he deserves some sort of like potentially like a beard, you know? Get rid of his arms. He doesn't need them. I mean, it's not the worst idea in the world, considering, you know, he'll have massive arms in the next one. But maybe he might need some, right? let's do, I'm gonna spread out his legs like this just a little bit so I can really let his feet breathe. Maybe like, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's more simplified, like Ambipom kind of feet. You know, almost like he's wearing like slippers. You know? And they could be even skinnier, kind of. As if there's no way you couldn't understand this is Bigfoot, right? What if I made him like a kind of like a meatball of fur? Oh, what if I had his hands? Oh, that's kind of like Raboot though. I was thinking he could have his hands in his pocket and he's like going for a walk. But not having arms isn't, I don't hate it. I actually don't hate that. But I think for a creature who evolves into a creature with massive arms, again, the Totempo, Zotempo kind of universe, as far as that is, subvert expectations, but might be too much. Let's go ahead and let's see if his arms are too high, that would look awkward. Let's see if I can create the original pose just to see. Sasquatch having slippers has made him coming out of his home in the morning. Could you imagine just trying to get the newspaper and everyone's taking photos? No wonder he's mad. He's just trying to get the paper. And then he's like on the paper all the time. Him coming out, I gotcha. Let's keep. Yeah, I do like the giant feet. Maybe he gets wooden arms? I don't think so. I like the kind of very muscly feel, right? It looks like muscle and sinew, like he's so powerful. Okay, let me see. Let's see if I tried this last time to give him the it does look really funny with the slipper approach. Maybe I'll give him, yeah, maybe I'll just give him massive arm. Like kind of dainty legs. There's definitely something here. Let's do... Alright, there's something here. There's something here. Maybe he's like tiptoeing in his art because he's like trying to stay hidden, you know? It's kind of like the joke. How does the legs go? Oh, okay. So the legs would go... Oh, wait. Maybe I do the legs like this. I kind of like this. Because he does look really big. And that's nice. Right. I'm gonna lurch him over. Oh, there we go. He's like Chewbacca's cousin or something. Let's have him... I'll have him like looking off to the side a little bit. There we go. Stole food out of the fridge. Yeah, now his sibling is angry because the sibling was like, Mom, do not let Littlefoot or Bigfoot take my food. I bought this food. And then the mom let the kid take it out. Trust me when I say this is a very real argument that would happen in our house all the time, where like my mom would like let my siblings eat their food or I eat their food. And then we're like, what the hell? What about basically this Bigfoot's disgraced regular sized foot, aka just a simple run of the mill man? What do we think though? What do we think? I'm gonna kind of like try and make him more coarse. Like, I really like his legs being like this. There's something really fun about it. It's like this kind of... Oh, I wonder, what if I made the Hobbit the kind of like... No, I can't. No, the Hobbit... The Hobbitses. You know what? And then what if I had like a Bigfoot beard kind of come down? How do we do the face? Well, maybe the face, yeah, maybe the face is hidden. And then looking awesome. Bonnie with an IEB, like you didn't have to do a whole evolution. Like I'm gonna do all of them without any breaks. Yeah. Like I do all of them without any breaks. I'm not really understanding that. I'm sorry. Okay, let me do that. I want to curve the fur here just for a little bit of, yeah. And then I guess for the face, I do want it to be something really simple. I guess at the end of the day, it's gonna be like ape-like, right? Part of me wants to obscure the whole face, you know? But I'm not against it. What if it's just his... Because I don't want to give him like a mustache. It could be... You know what? Let's do that. Let's extend this whole thing like this. And then... Yeah. So he looks really furry, like this big, massive meatball of fur. With these giant legs and giant feet kind of like strutting out. And then for the face... What do I do with the face? I could do something like, and then everyone's gonna be like, Bonnie hates faces. What if I did something like this where you can only see the eyes, maybe? It's like this looks like a pretty cute, you know, middle form. So they look something like this. So he's like cute. Is that too cute? Might be too cute, huh? Well, although actually I kind of like that for the like a Yeti. Like that feels more Yeti to me. I know that sounds crazy, but it feels more Yeti-like. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna look up some Bigfoot references. All right, Bigfoot name, face, Bigfoot face. Face is shadowed with a shadow. It could be that, but then it might make him feel too mysterious. Let's do this. I'm going to erase all. Take this, erase that. And then, okay, so according to these sketches, facial kind of things, obviously the Neanderthal thing is there. So what if I made... how do I make the fur... It could be something like this, chat, where I give his eyes like this, and then nose. I don't hate this. How do I... So maybe there's just like an opening in his face like this, where it's all like, you know, skin, right? And then maybe just two kind of eyebrows that kind of break through there. Ooh, I like that. I like this. It's simple. It's cute. It's Bigfoot, but not. But yes, it is, obviously. And then I'm going to extend out his arm over here just a little bit.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps. With Asana, you can coordinate tasks across teams and stay on track, so your team can spend more time celebrating wins. Try it for free at asana.com.
Okay, let's get some colors, and I think we'll be pretty good. And it could be a thing that, like, down the line, you know, it could be that, I'm trying to give him like a split hairline in the middle. Just because I see a lot of that split kind of hair coming down for his head. Maybe I can just give him... Oh, that's like a boob window. This is one where the design has a lot of foreshortening and stuff for the perspective and everything. Okay, yeah, let's start coloring this guy. Instead of getting rid of the eyes, you're showing only the eyes. What have you done with Bonny John? Hey, Danny, what's going on? I have not stretched. I haven't blinked at all, and I haven't hydrated. Welcome, welcome. What about a beard that covers his mouth and hair that covers his eyes? Middle-aged, looking so cool and mysterious. Good, good, good. He's looking like he's looking for beans at 3 a.m. Hell yeah. This Yeti guy looks like he'd give good hugs. I think so too. If you did do the faux tempo thing, would this guy be uncatchable? No, he'll be catchable. Because he's not the real Bigfoot. He's just inspired by him, right? So, again, did chat, did anyone, were they able to look up the subjectively kind of bit with enigmorphs if the capture tool was drawing? Because if that is the case, you know what, I'm just going to lift him up like this a little bit. I do want him to feel like, again, like a middle stage, and I think that feels better. The face also is just a little... Face is a bit off to me. I really don't know what to do. I think... Okay, so this comes down like this. His shoulder pauldrons are like the furry bits. And I do want him to be like that one Looney Tunes character we talked about, where he's like all face for the most part. You know what they say about big feet? Big shoes. And big socks. And big socks. Guys, a weird thing happened to me. As a person who, you know, enjoys shoes and whatnot, finally got my first pair of J's recently. I used to be a size 12. Some cases like 12 and a half. That was when I was at my biggest. Tell me how after I lost weight, I'm now a size 10.5, and if anything, maybe an 11 for certain shoes. It's like crazy how much losing actual weight. Like, I guess I lost weight in my feet. Like, maybe my feet were too wide. His name is Gossamer. Thank you, Danny. That's what it was. Danny, you missed it earlier, and as someone I trust, what do you think about changing the name from Potempo? As much as I love it, as I've said, I wouldn't have like pitched it if I didn't love it. The issue with Potempo is that I'm not trying to invite comparison to Pokemon. The names are incredibly similar. So I'm pitching, I did a whole thing. So here we have the EM, the P, and then even you got the O's here. Put some respect on his name. I'm pitching something along the lines of Zotempo for exotic. You can kind of see that there. Like that, it even looks very tribal and mysterious, like the creatures themselves. There's an X factor to all the creatures. I'm really leaning to going towards Zotempo. And it even sounds like zoo with the Z-O-O. So Zotempo. The P, I've been sitting on it for a long time and worrying. And I know like people are going to compare it regardless, but like for my own peace of mind, you know, so I don't have to deal with people saying it's one more thing, you know. How do I do the face, chat? That's the only thing. What if it's like a really silly eyes? It's just so cute. Oh my god. Maybe too cute. Again, I think I really like the idea of like his face being kind of like hidden. It might be that, chat. Just have his face hidden. And I give him that one like anime style curl in the front. What do y'all think? I kind of like it. And if anything, I just make it kind of like that here. Yes, 100% better. I'm down with the name change. Oh my god. Honestly, that makes me feel so much better because understandably, chat really likes the name Potempo, and I do too. But like, people can tell me, Bon, don't worry, it's this or that. But like, if I'm feeling the kind of way, it's not gonna go away just because people say, don't worry. You know? Alright, that makes me feel better. Sometimes you just gotta go with your gut. Unless you could do something cool with the X and drop the name. It could be samesies with the T too. Absolutely. Another cool one, Danny, I have is faux tempo. Now, the only bad thing with that is the idea is like spirits, right? If these are all spirits, you can capture spirits, you know, that's a thing, right? Spirit photography. And I was thinking, what if the capture mechanic where you use a camera. But the issue with that is that I'm naming the species based off of the capture device. But I could say that like they were named after. So faux tempo, as in PHOTEMPO, is cute, but I mean, then again, you have Pokemon and Pokeballs, so. I like the force perspective for the feet, but I wonder the final art if it should be something else. You know? More than photo, my initial thought was the word phony. Oh shit, you're right. Oh, you're right. Also, chat, I'll be 100% honest with you. I just knocked down my tea. It is the third time I've done that in the last few days. I knocked down my tea earlier today. I was sitting on the floor working on some stuff. I knocked my mug down, so I've got a splotch of tea there. I have a massive splotch of tea here. I had one over here. So there's that. Stumpithecus. Stomp plus Gigantopithecus. I think that's too long for my taste. I like the stomp part. Now I gotta do the Godzilla design after. Go get napkins. I'm so annoyed with myself. Yeah, chat, give me a second. I have to... Oh, you know what? This guy's shape is all funky. Why don't you run and go clean it? I'm a rebel, Danny. I work at my own time as a giant stain of tea sets into my carpet. Yeah, that's a good idea. Gigantos is pretty good. Sir? Oh man, that's a really awful flip. Yeah, give me 1 second, chat. Let's see. Fortunately, I've got paper towels right here. I really hate that this happened. There's nothing in my tea left. It's just a empty thermos. I feel the hot water over here. I'm a stupid idiot. This is the third time it's happened to me. Why do I? Well, I know why I keep doing it, because I have peripheral vision, my side vision, and I forget where I put things. And keeps happening to me. I'm an artist. I don't have a lot of finesse, but that's not true. I kind of do have good dexterity, but then I kind of mess up every now and then. Chop, chop, chop. Yikes. Why do I keep doing this? Gotta find a better system. Oh, I know exactly why this happens. It's because I no longer have the cover to my thermos. I need to get the tea tumbler replaced, even though it's legendary. It survived with me through college. Cha-cha-cha. I need a new thermos, but I really don't want to replace it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cha-cha-cha. How could this happen to me? La-da-da. Orangutan! That's a good one. Titos, Titan, and Toes. Legendary tea tumbler, I know, but Danny, I might have to replace it because I don't have a cap, and that's why it keeps filling. I'll take it over. What did y'all think of my singing? Danny's the type of person who snatches... It's not Danny. It's Janice. Janice snatches toes. Serenading for free. Wow, what a deal. Okay. We're all set for now. I'm very annoyed with myself. I may have to actually buy a new tea tumbler. I liked it. Our mod cat said that she's going to kidnap me so I can do karaoke. Guys, this Bigfoot's I don't know if I like the, what do you call it? The forced perspective. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. John.Any, it's Janice! I haven't heard from Janice from a long time. Oh, what if I give him a hairstyle like this? It looks like a real dingus. Not our beloved dingus Joe, but just a general dingus. You know what? So maybe it's just a more simple pose, chat. You know? And not so much the forced perspective thing. Oh, Danny, do you know about this? I was asking chat earlier and no one seemed to know. What is this? What is this little one target symbol thingy? And how do I get rid of it? Who are you? And why won't you leave me alone? Phalanges. Phalanguitan. What are phalanges exactly? Stomp squash? Does Yeti Boy be like tiptoeing in my jaws? Tiptoe by the window. That arch back looking zesty. Hey, yo, Monkillies. Yo, you guys are so good at names, chat. Wait, the way he's kind of arched back. He's got his booty in the air. Bigfoot, more like. That's not even funny. I'm sorry. That's not even funny. What? God damn. Alright, let's give him his hands. Hands that make her dance. Hands that make her dance. Alright, let's do. Okay, yeah, let's do something like this. Like longer, extended feet, legs, massive feet. Right? So he's got like a small body. His like proportions are funky. So when he evolves into King Kong, there's like a nice balance, right? You know, he's like a lanky teenager, but instead of like lanky arms, he's got lanky feet. Sass Stomp, Sasquatch. My theory is it's in your rotation tool, like a crosshair, right? Yeah, it's this one little crosshair thing. It's not my rotation. This is rotation. Rotation. It only happens when I'm in. Look, Eraser has it, Brush has it. But when I go to my move tool cursor, it goes away. Phalanges are the bones in hands and feet. Gotcha. When you're a Ben 10 fan and a Pokemon fan, you're forced to learn creative names. Yeah, I love making the names too. Like, that shit is so much fun. Alright, let's do... Yeah, you know what? This is such a fun and awkward shape. I've not seen this for a Bigfoot kind of character. So, I like this. Let's have him, again, have this kind of shoulder pauldrons type of thing. Oh, this is fire. This is fire. If it were Pokemon, for some reason they'd give them crotch fur. There's one too many Pokemon. No, Reshiram has crotch fur. For some reason, Beartic has insane crotch fur. Both of them are white fur Pokemon. Interesting. Is your caps lock on? No. So with caps lock, I see what you mean. Caps lock will make this a cursor. So it makes, you see this right here? It makes this a cursor. But I don't know what this guy is. This guy is being like sent from an alternate dimension to spy on me when I'm illustrating. I don't know what his vibe is. Like, is he evil? Is he good? Is it Adobe trying to train their AI system? Yo, I like his hairstyle. He looks like young Bond when he was like severely overweight. Okay, let's do his nose like that. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can have his fur kind of cut into his mouth. No, let's do... Yeah, something like that looks good. And then what if I did, just to open the body plan a little bit, and I do a chest. And then I kind of do like fur on the chest like that. That way it's not all just a sea of like a brown color. Maybe it's a little too small. How do I do this? Maybe a single tooth? Oh, I like big dogs, catchy. Big dogs, yeah, big dogs. Is it your stabilizer? What is that? Okay, then you might have to reset your settings in that case. Boobs! It's sort of a pine tree appearance. I like it. Let's go. Toe sassy. Toe sassy. Toe Sasquatch and Too Sassy. Well, isn't that super sassy? But I think that's a funny name. There's just honestly a million good names I can give this guy, right? How about, it might be something like, with a reference for feet, it could be... I really like Toe Titan, but he's not like... I want the Titans kind of names reserved for all the bigger kaiju Zotempo. Yo, I like Zotempo! I like Zotempo! I do want the legs to be even more skinny or anything like that. Alright, how do we do the legs? I will give him, I think, a little extra kind of appendage right there. Just to make him feel more ape-like, you know? And then for sure, he's going to need to have, like, fur. Maybe he can have, like, fur, like a little spur on the back. Fur spur. Fur spur. This guy looks like the Adventure Time... Not Adventure Time, excuse me. What's the show? Regular Time. What's his name? Was it... Not... Was it Benson? No. Who's that one Yeti guy? Give him like a tiny little tail in the back like that. I really like his shape. He's got a very, very nice silhouette. In fact, I kind of want to make this... Yeah, there you go. That's what was missing. That proportion is way better. The beard looks better. Oh, he's got a... Dude, I wasn't even paying attention. He's got the same kind of beard here, which I don't entirely hate. The evolution's kind of making sense. Either way, I'll be adjusting, you know, the final form quite a bit. Wait, what if I made the arms, like, even smaller? You know? might need to be smaller arms. And it's like, yeah, his focus is the massive legs. Bigfoot, after all. Sips? Yeah, I think it was, right? All right. Got a blast. Thank you, thank you. Make sure you stretch this again. Indeed. Take care. Bye with the wave. Oh, is that you waving? Toger. Toe plus ogre. That's cute. Pitichiles. That's hard to say. The thing on the screen might be the color sampler, so you might have to turn it off. Although with the color sampler, if you hit Alt, you get the dropper. So I don't think it's that either. If we can figure it out, whoever can tell me, I will be so forever grateful, because that thing always bothers me. Skips? Yeah, it skips, right? All coming together. Toe long. Toe and too long. That's cute. Toe long. Sastomper. Sastomper is a very good one. Great ones, guys. You know what? Let me not. I'll just straight up do it like that. So I'll have to figure out a different kind of hairstyle for the big guy. But I really like this a lot. Let's color him. Let's color Bigfoot. I think his feet are pretty big. We get that for sure. You know what? I'll do it like this. I don't want it to lose too much. Heftfoot. Hefto. Hefto. I like Hefto too. Beatish? Oh my god. You're nasty. You're nasty. Alright. So let's go ahead and size him down a little bit. That's perfect. Okay. So part of me wants to give him like a green color scheme just because he's in the woods. The other half is like, yo, don't even be cute with it. It's Bigfoot. Just go like the furry route. Then it might feel like Chewbacca. So what are we thinking, chat? I got an idea. If it's not this, it could be multiple colors. I think for sure I kind of want to have pink hands and pink feet. Feels right. Something fleshy, but like in a cartoony way, right? Where it doesn't feel like too humanoid. But this is the one character, or, you know, mythos that, as it were, kind of feels human, right? Bigfoot, the missing link. If it feels too, like, on the nose human, I might change it. But, I mean, it's simple and it works. Like, I don't hate it. It's too obvious for this palette. So, alright, let me just... Oh, what the... Well, what the hell? Alright, so we have... Godzilla line. Look at the old Bigfoot at the bottom. Be gone! And I send him to the Shadow Realm. Okay, we still have Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Krontos, Cronus, and Toes. Maybe green at the end of the hair, kind of like dyed hair. Puke green or bust. You put your heft foot in. Krontos for Cronus. What does Cronus mean? I know Kronos is like a Greek god. Maybe the pine tree colors to blend it a bit. I was thinking that. It's Pithecus and Achilles. You know, it's K in Greek, so it's Pithacles. Pithacles. I'm thinking Gadagadagadagadado. Let's go ahead and, yeah, mess around with some colors. And then next up, I'll work on the middle stage for the Godzilla line. I also still need to like really kind of land the ship for another line, which is another mushroom line. You know, chat, I was thinking I might save that for a future game. Because I'm like, do I really need to have 2 mushroom lines? Like, I'd rather get as much diversity in, like, this first batch as far as design of flora and fauna, etc., you know? Hopping in! Hey, Almo Fellas, what's up, Rosa? Welcome in. This was for the name I said earlier. Cronus is the Greek goddess of time. I love the little tooth. Me too. I might give him on both sides just for some symmetrical reasons. But it does look a little too full, right? Because I'm not the biggest fan of giving asymmetrical designs if they're going to be... Like, imagine if you saw a whole herd of these creatures. It'd be kind of like jank to be like, oh, you all have the same kind of snaggle tooth, you know? So, it could be maybe I save the teeth for the final film. It's like baring the teeth, you know? I found pilos, meaning covered in long, soft hairs. Pilopith. Looks good, but feels like he's missing something. Zeus feels like a Greek version of an anime protagonist. The one tooth give character. It does. But that's the thing. I think he gives too much character, right? We should have a feeling that this creature is one of many and not a specific character, right? So that's the only kind of thing. Like, I wouldn't mind if, say, a mythical or like a singular, like mythic Zotempo might have, say, a specific thing. But I think all having like one, I don't want to say defect, right? I'm not trying to say it like that's kind of what it, not what it is, but like something that's too much of an outliner. I don't want it to be present in every single one, right? But we'll see. There's still a lot of discovery, right? Even changing the name. Let me see if he should smile. Oh, you know what? Maybe I could switch it up by extending this out, giving him a big smile. Oh, wait, hold on. I like this. But then again, you know what? I kind of like that the teeth come out for the final form. Like, that's cute. In fact, the nose looks like eyes a little bit, which is nice. But I'll do this. Or I could even just give him a smile. So there's a personality shift. Oh, I like the smile a lot. That even looks like eyes. Bigfoot! And then he gets angry. Characteristic is Mother Nature Gaia and Father Time Kronos. Maybe more shades of brown, kind of looking like a normal ape. I think we need some complementary. Oh, without a doubt. How does the goddess of Earth outrank time? Because if there's nothing to govern time with, which is like the place that holds life, then time doesn't affect anything. You know? Let's see here. Yeah, this was just a quick color kind of test just to put something, you know? Also, let's do this. I'm going to probably just give him a little belly button. We'll go ahead and play with colors, because yeah, this is definitely just like a placeholder kind of thing. Because he certainly gets a lot of, you know. Okay, let's go change up the colors. He looks like a teenager. All right, let's do. Okay. I'm just kind of filling in all the colors a bit more. This is how I do my process for colors. So I'm gonna do Control J. Ooh. Could be a darker brown. First I do colors, second. I mean, for me, the way I do it is I always do everything at one go, right? Especially when I'm making compositions. Because the lines are one thing, but if you don't see how the colors sit next to each other, then, ooh, I do like the green quite a bit. Ooh, I kind of like the black too. But it's tough because if I do want it to live in the family of its designs, although color doesn't have to be the family element, you know, like it's the fact that different creatures, a skunk ape becomes Bigfoot, who becomes King Kong, is the important part, right? It also strikes me on the lightning beats of time gotten tightened. I get to the point of jolt to the past and the spark of the... Huh? That doesn't make any sense to me. The dark brown does look nice. Gia is a primordial god. She's the embodiment of the earth and nature, like Uranus is the embodiment of sky, and Tartarus is the embodiment of the underworld. Like I said, man, I really like this dark blue as well. But it might have to be a more red kind of color, or brown, just because he does evolve into a more red-like creature. But again, I haven't shied away with making each of my creatures very different. I do like this green. So it could be like black skunk ape into Bigfoot into King Kong. Like the unifying element is they're like all ape-like, right? So to me, then again, who knows? Maybe by the end of this, color will be a major thing, right? Where I'm like, no, I need all of the colors to be consistent in the family line, right? Who knows? Because otherwise, if that would look like something like this, where I get the black and then I get the black here, you know? Which, you know, I don't hate that there's a consistency between the lines at all. But then it really does start to feel like Pokemon, you know, where I'm making each of the things super connected through, right? So that's something to figure out as I go. Let's see. I do like the green quite a bit. Maybe it's like green at the top to look like kind of like that, you know? I do like that. I want to see if I can push the pink. Ooh, the orange is nice too. Actually, hold on. I really like this. Wearing bush vibes? Yeah. It's not exactly a lot knowing how the colors go. I just get choice paralysis. What would a bizarro Bonny John be like? Brody Jones. That looks like a caveman with these colors? Hell yeah. It's a good thing, I swear. Green and orange. Yeah, we've kind of got green and orange kind of over here already. Although I'm worried that feels a little too much like Grookey, chat. Digituber make Digimon? Not wrong. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's get a little bit of the fur kind of coming into the belly, just a little bit, I think. And it does got these, like, tree pine kind of vibes going on. Wonder if I could do, like, a Christmas tree or a pine tree kind of shape here. The main thing, of course, is the feet and whatnot. I think these are a little too... Yeah, let me bring it back down a little bit. I don't love if it's like more humanoid kind of skin tone. But that's not Grooky at all. Will you ever make a YouTube video on Patempo? Since it's no longer Patempo, no, but I will be making it on potentially Zotempo. As I was talking about, I might be doing a name change. More than likely, I will be switching it over to Zotempo, like I've talked about earlier this stream, as well as like a few streams ago. It's been a topic I've been kind of bringing up. It does not look like Grooky at all. It's just because when I'm thinking of colors and a green leafy, it's not so much that it looks like it, but if it invokes it, right? The green kind of element brings a very, you know, grass ape vibe, which we know exists in the Grooky line, right? So I'm always kind of like thinking about that. That's just kind of the developer in me who's like thinking about like, and that's why I'm changing Potempo, right? So it doesn't sound too much like a Pokemon kind of thing. Even though, again, I should really worry about that if and when people say Bonny, or they may not even know who created it. They're going to see this like game trailer and then be like, yo, this is just a Pokemon ripoff, even the name, blah, blah, blah. Thing is, since I'm already worried about it, I'm really not trying to like live in that anxiety. You know, that's what's important to me. I'm gonna do, yeah, I like this. I kind of like this a lot. Because when it's flattened, it really gives a better shape for the... Oh, is it stuck for you guys? Bro, what is going on with Photoshop in this app? Let me do it again. Okay, good. Silhouettes, different colors are way darker result. All we need to do is give this guy a suit and fedora and make him do Michael Jackson. We got ourselves a party. So yeah, like for me, I'm always hyper cognizant and hyper aware of like comparisons. I'm trying to make my own thing while paying homage, you know. It's a tricky act, you know. But it hates you, yeah. It's not been nice to me, I'll say that much. Okay. Honestly, I really like it. The green does look like it's wearing a bush, which is really fun and nice. A more vibrant green is really nice because it adds a little bit of pop. Part of me wonders, you know what, chat, if I were to like darken this a little more so it doesn't just look like a regular, you know. Now I'm getting Rillaboom. Super Saiyan Monkey. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that right now. Okay. So, ooh, maybe it's gray, like a real ape. I don't know. The human color, like the fleshy tone, is creeping me out a little bit. This gray is nice, but it feels like it's stone, you know? I don't hate that. Green foot cuffs would look nice as well. Something about the colors are wrong. I don't like that. Now the colors are reminding me of trolls from Frozen 1. Let's see. What do the trolls from Frozen 1 look like? See, so this is what I'm saying, right? If I say something will look like Grooky, oh, I see, with the stone kind of thing. Something will always look like something. So I guess it's a matter of me being okay with some sort of comparison. Because it's kind of unavoidable, right? I like the cooler tones. I also got some ideas, suggestions for zone tempos. 2 separate alts. Not sure what they would come from. The Isonade, Sharp-Skinned Shark Yokai, and Shell Whale. Interesting. Let me know. Because I might need to do one for the shark. But since I already have a whale, I probably won't use Skeljunger, but that sounds cool. Also, again, as I keep saying, there's just too many yokai, so I kind of want to limit the yokai. The gray does look really stony to me. So I don't know if I love that. Let's see if I can make it just a touch warmer. Again, the difficult thing is it might look a little too humanoids, right? Yeah, I'll probably have one whale line that'll be 3-stage and then like a 2-stage shark line. Let's do color balance. I don't hate the red. It's like it creates contrast. See, the brown would be boring, but it just straight up fits, you know? It just straight up fits. There's a lot of good choices. It might just be a regular ape hiding under a bush, right? This guy needs some toenails. Oh, gross. Toenails are like... People with feet fetishes scare me. Because I find toes to be so gross. You guys with me? I don't know. They wriggle like little worms. Do they have their minds of their own? We need the government to research toes and feet. Alright, so we have the side toes. Maybe it's something like that. So there's a little bit of movement happening at the feet. I do like it when it's like completely flat too, because you like really pay note. You know what? Yeah, I really want the feet to have that, like, there's that shock factor as you follow this line down, and then like the feet are just bam right there, you know? Maybe borrow some color from the Evo. Yeah, that's, I mean, more than likely what I'll be doing is like keeping colors from the family lines, but again, as I was showing, it does end up looking too Pokemon-like, which isn't a bad thing. That might be largely what I do for the final. Yeah, for now I don't mind that they don't visually combine. It's kind of like that thing with Digimon, where as long as they feel like they're part of the family, like these are 3 different kind of apes with different kind of origins. You know what? I don't really. I did the don't let the government research toes. You heard it here first. I agree with that statement. Let's go. Everything's based off of something. Yeah, this project got its own vibe. That's good. That's good. I'm glad. I'll say this. I like the way most of this looks. I don't like the arms. I did the arms the way I did because I kind of wanted it to be like, you know, the focus are the legs. So if he's got like these little arms, but I don't know, it's not tracking for me. Like, I don't even know how I pose these things, you know? Like, I could give him bigger arms, but like, the focus should be, like, should I have his hands up? Oh, maybe it's something like that. Solrilla, like the soles of your feet. Solrilla. It is definitely gonna be something with the feet, right? I'm gonna try this, chat, real quick, where the focus is going to be, again, the legs. So I'm gonna minimize the outside. Exactly, right? You know, Rose is right. Like, this guy's main thing is he's gonna stomp you. Maybe he's got like his hands close to his body like this. You know? I don't know why. I don't know if that's gonna look good. Or I could do a thing where maybe he keeps his hands behind his back. You know? But then that gives him this like wise kind of look. I don't. Let's see, chat. Let's see. Now you really see his legs on display, right? What would skinny arms look like? That could be it too, right? It could be skinny arms. Let's see. Let's give it a try. Oh, part of me also thinks it could just be like arms like this. And he just kind of droops him down. Wait. Let's have it come out from here. Skinny. The pose is the issue with his back. Kicks you to death, stomps you. How do we do this, chat? Let's see. Oh, wait. Maybe the arms are up here and they come out. That's why doing it in the Bigfoot pose looks good, because he's like walking. But like, the silhouette of the shape is like tough to track in that pose. Let's see. This is like a pseudo flexing kind of shape, or silhouette, I should say. Don't forget to flip. That's probably it. Good save. Good save. When in doubt, flip. I don't trust people who don't flip their work. Like, I've had people say like, oh, I don't flip, or I don't need to flip. You're on my shit list. You say that. You're not above the god of flip, Tony Hawk. All right? Have we all had our water? I spilled my tea earlier today, so I haven't. Have his arm covering his face and have his arms have eye patterns? That changes up the dynamic a little too much. That's like a concept entirely different. It's cool, but it doesn't fit this Bigfoot guy, right? Let's do something like this. Ooh, what if I had it like the same pose as his younger self? Where they've both got kind of their like hands behind their heads. You know what? I'll just kind of have it just be jumping out like that. I do like the thinner arms. They don't feel as awkward as the really lumpy kind of, you know, arms we had before. Also, you guys will probably keep hearing fireworks throughout this week. Um, I may also not be streaming this Thursday because it'll be July 4th and I'll be with my family. If I happen to finish barbecue and all that kind of stuff early, then hop on. And again, this is like a middle stage, so it doesn't need to be super complex in my opinion. It just needs to, you know, fulfill its role as an in-between stage, right? Imagine I give him like a gray butt in the back. You can't do that. I'll drink water in your honor. Thank you. I've spilled tea thrice this week, Rosa, so it's not been great. I've been on my doofus mode. My favorite British holiday British eviction notice day, aka Independence Day. Ah, okay. I was like, what the? British are cool now. I've gotten my gripes with the British, but yeah, they've done some okay things. But as an American and as an Indian, I got a lot of beef with them. Let's just say, man, many of my designs for this definitely need like second passes and stuff, but they're gonna look really good. I gotta figure out how I can stream from my iPad because that's where I do most of my line work, and then you guys can kind of see my process from there because the way I do art on my iPad is very different. Ooh, I like this. I like this with his head kind of tilted up. You know what? I wonder if maybe I could do like his hand kind of like this then. Chat, look at that. I kind of want to move his hand to the back then. He's like observing because then his legs will really be on display. Oh, you know what I have to do? At that point, I've got to like have his hair come through the green pattern. Look, my family showed Dave happy British eviction day. Tease, and he's so cute. I know, right? Opinions on the French. I have no problem with the French. In fact, listen, I have no problem with a lot of people. The issue is, I have problem with individual people. My main thing is if you're mean and you're rude and a dickhead, then I don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, that's as simple as it is. If you're kind to me, cool. But I also have an issue if you're kind to people that I love, or like, if you can't just be a decent person in this world. It's already hard as it is to get by, and you make it hard for me or other people, or, you know, then we're gonna have a problem. You know? Like, it's very easy to be a kind person. And the rewards of being a kind person is wonderful. I don't like the calves. Let's keep it cartoony. You know? This is like Bigfoot, you know? He wakes up, taking a look at the beautiful day ahead of him. It could also be cute to give him like kind of like a paw-like shape, but I'll make him humanoid. It's fine. In fact, part of me wants to go even more like just to like really push up the Bigfoot, like elongate all of this. Let's see. Nah, let's not overcomplicate. It's a middle stage. So Stomper, that's not his full name, but you know, I'll let you guys call them, you know, because it's easier to kind of look at from your own lens. I think, you know what? I don't think I've, you know, truly. It's better to keep it a secret until names and whatnot are ready, huh? Gives you something to look forward to. Okay, so he looks pretty good. Green Ums could work to bring out the big juicy feet. Ugh, don't say juicy. It could be green. And like the top half is like covered in like that kind of moss kind of thing. I don't hate that. But then again, I kind of like that it looks like his bot, like there's something like funny about this guy being Bigfoot and going incognito. So you see he's like a regular ape man thing, but hiding underneath a bush. There's like the joke is there, right? Too many people hating on each other for what they look like. Yeah, exactly. Elongape. Wow. I might have to actually write that down. Despite the fact that you guys came up, and without a doubt, all of you guys are hitting banger names, Elongape is just fantastic. Cutting me in line. If you cut me in line, I'm going to cut you. Hidden Squatch. Hide and seek and squatch. Hide and squatch. Oh, when you say it like that, that's pretty cute. Hide and squatch. All right. I think this guy is good for now, chat. What do we think? As I put away Elongape, potentially, I can sweep this shape like this. And I think that's kind of cute. My name's Elongape, or whatever it is. All right, so we got this guy down. Here's the new line. So I updated with the skunk ape. Although, I gotta say, chat, I don't know if I love skunk ape, the baby form. He's all right. Maybe I can just make him more tubby. You know? The big chest, because gorillas seem to have, like, big chest. Or I can just have it kind of be open. If I end up coming up with a better second stage form, then, you know, I'll change it. But then again, you know, there's a lot of like monkey kind of creatures out there that I can use. But I do like skunk ape, which is kind of like a Bigfoot cousin, into, you know, Bigfoot into King Kong. There's a nice through line there, right? I gotta really sit down and think about what it is about the helmets that make them like truly unique. Maybe it's like unique between the domains. Maybe it's unique between the style of creature. There's a lot of ways to like sit down and really figure it out. Like I said earlier, my goal is to like get this like whole pitch down by the end of like August, as in like all the character designs I did last week get finalized, because those are like the main characters, you know. Next week I'll work more on like locations, really whittle down the world, you know, because on my own this week I'm really going to spend time keep figuring out this name situation, since that's a pretty big deal, right? And then also I really want to figure out the capture device. That's probably like one of the number one things I need to figure out. I'm getting close to a few things. Like the fun part is like trying to figure out like the analog element of it. Like again, I love the idea of the lantern. I love the idea of the candles and all that kind of fun stuff. But like, if there isn't a way I can like market it or like visualize it as far as the use in the world, then it's gonna have to be a pass on it. You know, Pokeballs, easy. Chuck them out and that's it. You know, Digivices, you only have one Digimon. Like he lives in the device, so it's okay. You don't need to figure it out. So since this is more akin to Pokemon, I've got to like figure out my own thing, right? You know what? I kind of like this guy. If anything, I'm going to maybe just simplify it. And then maybe I can just give him a little tuft of fur. Oh, he's like Shadow the Hedgehog, dude. Skunk Ape. Looks good. Middle stage looks awesome. Awesome. No, you can't get rid of my Skunk Ape, sweetie. Man, imagine sitting down, hiding its limbs with its feet shows, then standing up. Yeah, that'd be sick, right? I said nothing about aggravated assault. Are the eyes supposed to be obscured in some way? For the babies, all the first forms, they're always hidden under a mask, so it'll be like always underneath. Let's see. Hello, I make concept art for you, Rodan. Maybe I just share it in IG story. I hope you like it. Anyway, what's your opinion for Digimon TCG? Let him have a neck. He does have a little bit of a neck now, at least, right? I don't know who Rodan is, and I don't really have opinions on the TCG for Digimon. I've seen the art and it's gorgeous. I do have like somewhere around here like Digimon cards from a long time ago. Wonder if they'd be worth anything. I think his neck is a little too long, but I do like his eyes. I might make them just a touch bigger. What do we think now that I've kind of like buffed him up a little bit? What are your thoughts on the Skunk Ape? He's cute. Maybe what it is I've got him, you know, like a monkey. Maybe I should look at like a baby ape. That way I could really, you know what? That's probably what it is. I'll work on him later, but I'm just cleaning it up now. Maybe his body shape will be a lot more closer to a baby ape than like a generic baby monkey. You know? That's probably the issue. I'm also just going to make his eyes a little bigger because all the first form babies should have like big expressive eyes, right? Chat, what did this baby see for his eyes to look like that? Wrong answers only. And PG-13 answers, please. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I think his neck is a little too long, so I'm just going to bring it just a bit down. Yeah, that's better. Alright, not too bad. You know what? I'm just going to make that black. I didn't even know Digimon has... Yeah, it's true. The babies have a mouse that's adorable, frankly good. Rodan is a fiery pterosaur kaiju ally who's just as popular as Mothra. Okay. Digimon Liberator. You! I'm stretching. Everybody wants to stretch with me? Getting a nice stretch in. Okay. So this line for now is complete. Skunk Ape, which again, I'm going to make it look more like a baby ape down the line. Into Bigfoot, into King Kong. This guy will be obviously a lot bigger than this guy. And again, as far as the evolutions, it's more Digimon-like than Pokemon in that, like, I don't need to necessarily make them look like they evolve. Like, the idea is their potential is so potent within them that, like, the concepts, the underlying concepts will always be similar. But, like, yeah, it's the concept that evolves, right? Oh, the baby saw you is what I'm saying. Gotcha. See, wait, he's peeking through the curtain. It's metagaming. He saw his creator. His dada. And I have my dad hat on too. Although it says Bab for you guys, because it's reversed. I'm all of your guys' Bab. Alright, so... Okay. Now that we're done here, we have this line. Here's the Cthulhu line, although I do want to redesign the middle stage a little bit. And see how that goes. Just because, and I also need to like match the level of complexity. I will, when I redesign these guys, I'll do the same thing where I like put all three in a design document and kind of like just make sure all of them fit, if that makes sense. Fit as far as like the number of details, right? If you were to compare the Cthulhu-inspired kaiju Zotempo to the King Kong-style Zotempo, it definitely looks something, you know, too... What's the word? Too over-detailed. Not over-detailed, but they don't have the same level. Okay? My time's up. All right, take care, Rosa. Take care. Fire monkey. Is that like an orangutan and then gorilla? Let's go. Okay, so now, chat, as I keep saying, the Honengyo. Oh, it's already 9 o'clock. So I'm going to try to, if anyone can find some lizard-like stories for this first one. I don't have a true basis for it, so I don't necessarily mind if it's basic. But then again, I do have a lot of basic forms that have backgrounds for the first. I'm going to look up the Honengyo for the second one, though. Honengyo, which I think basically is... Wait, I have it written here, but then... It really does look like Godzilla, which is crazy. Godzilla Yokai. Is it real, though? I'm currently reading a lot of stuff about Japanese mythology, Shintoism, and everything. In one book, I found the Honengyo. It means the fruitful year fish or the strange fish, Kaigyo. They appear in rivers and can get pretty large. Their bodies are long, have legs and eyes like mirrors. They own spiked dorsal fins. Usually they avoid humanity, but sometimes they get washed into riverbanks of large cities or get caught by accident. One was apparently washed into a riverbank of Osaka. It was about 2 or 3 meters long and 70 kgs heavy. It was called a fish, but the animal that was washed up looked like an amphibian. In Edo illustrations, the Honengyo looked a lot like Godzilla. So I like this. But are there more descriptors I can use for the second form? What is your favorite soft drink? Honestly, as of right now, I really like Pepsi Zero. I think it tastes good and has no calories. Which I know is kind of a basic answer. Um, I really like all the fruit Fantas, like the strawberry or the pineapple or the grape. Actually, grape soda is like super underrated. All right, Honengyo are strange fish or amphibian which occasionally appear in rivers. They can grow quite to be large, at least over 2 meters long. Their bodies are long and flexible like a weasel's, and they're covered in scales like a snake. They have legs like a turtle, and their eyes are like mirrors. They have black, spiked dorsal fins, and mosses and river grasses are often found attached to their massive bodies. So, I like this, but I feel like that sounds more like my first form. So, I might make the Honengyo the first form, chat. Um, but yeah, let's do that. I still need a middle form. Honengyo. Honengyo for this middle one. So let's update this guy, chat. Let me make sure you guys can see. I'm zooming into the Honengyo. If anything, yeah, the blue here feels a little too much. I wonder if that looks too much like an alligator, but it's okay. So the Honengyo, strange amphibious, long and flexible like a weasel. Okay, so that's fine. I might have it. Maybe it's more like that. Okay. And then a lot of people don't like diet, but like for me, I've never minded, and plus that like the diet powdery stuff does taste better than they did before, so I get why people didn't like them. And also for me, like the trade-off, if it's 0 calories, as someone who fasts for like nearly 20 hours a day, if it doesn't break my fast, it's very good for me to. I don't want to say it's very good to me to drink. I'm never gonna pitch you guys, hey, be sure to drink diet soda. You know, this is Link. If you're all interested about, no, not at the moment, but thank you. Let's see, flexible. They're covered in scales like a snake, so I could do like big scales like this. And then they have legs like a turtle. I like this quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like a sea turtle. And it's swimming through the ocean like this. And it could feel like its own unique kind of creature. And it's cool, like. And it's usually got black spiked dorsal fins. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to keep it simple. It doesn't have to be black either. I don't have to make it exactly like, you know, but this allows me to create a unique creature, you know, opposed to, you know, a one-to-one. And I kind of want it to look like a sail, like you know what? We'll do like a double sail instead of all these like individual smaller spikes. Maybe it'll be 3. 1, 2, 3. I mean, Godzilla's like a marine. It's like a cute story where it's like a marine. This one, anyway, I mean, where it starts as a marine animal that then becomes terrestrial, right? Let's go ahead and do turtle. Look at turtle. Oh, well. Oh, so you know what? Turtles are different from sea turtles. Well, no, that's a tortoise then. right? So, okay, let me do, I like the idea of this guy kind of like swimming in the ocean and then, well, some, okay, you know what? And I could give him like spikes and stuff, like little claws depending on, right? I see some turtles that have that, like the semi-aquatic ones. Um, although I wonder if I should give my guy a little shell. I mean, granted, it doesn't have that in the descriptor, but I'm making my own version of it, right? Okay, yeah, I like this reference a lot. So it could be like this, and maybe it's got like one there. And he could have like a little underbelly. And so let's have it be. What do you guys think? And if I do the underbelly thing, I can have. Yeah, something like this. But like the inside color is there. The scales are a little hard to illustrate. I'm going to simplify the dorsal fin. I'm going to keep it 1. But it's cool. It's its own little creature, right? I don't know if I love just the green, but again, that's why that underbelly is going to be really important. I hate to say it, I might have to do the like just to make sure each line feels like they belong in the line, like the colors might need to feel all the same, you know? Because I did choose green specifically because um you know, the final form of Godzilla inspired, you know, is green. Mackenzie writes, Cornish folklore of crocodilian sea serpent named the Morgrar, while Peluda and excuse me. Um, it's because I haven't had tea and I've been chatting all day, so I have to do the next best thing. All right, your dad has his drink now. And La Velou is the same creature with its Spanish and French names respectively. Notes down green fur and poison spikes. Thank you for that. The middle stage choices to look up so far that I can think of Buru Murray. It sort of reminds me of Kappa, that turtle yokai. That's true, right? Wait a second. Dang, maybe we save Honengyo for. Because this version of the Honengyo is definitely, yeah, like more Kappa oriented. Damn, that's such a good point, especially if I'm doing a turtle-like one. Although, you know, the thing is, there's a ton of Japanese yokai that I'm sure I can do for yokai in the future. So you know what? I won't worry too much about it. But that's such a good idea. Don't. It's been heard. Don't worry. Um, you know what? I'm going to do this dorsal fin I created for it. Always kind of like always looked off, and I think it's because it probably needs to be. Let me make it like a dorsal fin, kind of like its back, and let it be made of wood instead. Because at the end of the day, it's my representation of these various mythos, right? The masks are gonna be so cool, dude. You know what? That tail is kind of throwing me off. Let's keep it simple and cute. It's a baby. Yeah, yeah. This works. This works for me. Da-na-na. Yo, the Godzilla -1 soundtrack. Chat, I want the Japanese vinyl. That shit is $100 something. Whereas the American one is only 30. But the cover is so fire with the Japanese lettering. The middle stage one should be Burunjor. I think I've talked about Burunjor and why it doesn't work. Let me double check. And that's probably because Burunjor, it's kind of like the Kasai Rex, right? Let me see. Maybe a descendant. Let's see. Sighting. Brian Clark. 20-foot long meather. 20-foot long. 20-foot long monster covered in feathers. Alright, at least it has feathers. No remains have been found. Oh, Burunjor, I see. I could make it more like this kangaroo dino. But, yeah, I'm not sure if I feel like it fits the current setup. Let me look up Morgrar. A sea serpent that purportedly inhabits the sea near Falmouth Bay. "60-foot, shaped like a crocodile with 4 webbed feet and a powerful tail." Oh, Cornish author invented the creature as a hoax. Alright, we'll skip that one. Peluda? Let's look up Peluda. Ooh, this guy looks cool. The hairy one. The shaggy beast. Long green cover. We might have to save that for something else. Definitely need something maybe a little more reptilian that fits here. Buru Murray. Right? I think I did look this up. Buru, let me look up Buru mythology. Aquatic cryptic animal featured in the foundation of the Apatani people. Last Buru was said, saw drinking water. The whole village helped to fill the spring with stones and clay. Crocodile-like creatures. I'm not seeing descriptions for it. Murray. Let's see. Kappa should be for different. I agree. Peluda looks like it could be for potentially the what is that called? Why is it eluding me, chat? The Tarrasque. The Tarrasque is lion-like features, and so a shaggy dinosaur kind of creature could evolve into a shaggy lion, dragon, turtle dinosaur. The middle one is still eluding me. I like this one. I'm gonna look up aquatic yokai because I don't think it necessarily needs to be like this one could be all Japanese. I'm not too bothered by it, you know? Umibozu. I know that guy is not gonna be a good fit. Shiofuki. Elusive aquatic yokai with elephantine ears. Nope. Akugyo. Giant fish, thunderbird fish. Samakugyo breathe fire. Ningyo with gold and silver scales. Pair of 2 white oni-like horns. Because part of me wonders if maybe I could make the Honengyo like a second stage. It is a pretty cute, like it's like the source material, like the Edo version, and then it becomes Godzilla. There's a nice thing that's there. We're almost there, chat. We're almost there. Aniwa, let's take a look. I could also do Zilla and have Zilla become God, which I think is cool because I did grow up with Zilla. Tani, what? Large supernatural beings that live in deep pools. They're considered highly respected protective guardians. Often appears as a whale or a large shark. Maybe not. Reptilian? Should we look up like reptilian? Oh, wait. There's a few over here. So, what if I did, for example, akugyo, evil fish or thunderbird fish, monstrous fish? That could be the first form. While feasting, and then it becomes like a turtle creature, and then it finally becomes a dragon. I don't hate that, but I don't love that either. Osho, the high priest fish. Ew, they have bodies resembling soft-shelled turtles and smooth, bald heads resembling human monks. Maybe that could be what evolves into the kappa. The Oshuo. Umizato. The serious gigantic yokai which look like blind guildsmen who wander the sea at night, tapping the waves with their long canes. Nope. Let's see. Oh, what about this one? Wait, what about this one, y'all? It's called Namija. The wave snake. Like the other yokai in the Bakemono Tsukushi Imaki, there's no explanation that comes from this. It's just a picture and name. Namija. Wave and snake. Wave snake. Actually, this one's easy to explain. Heck, it explains itself. It's a wave that's a snake, or a snake that's a wave. Either way, the name of the illustration pretty much tied this up very nicely. One thing to keep in mind is that a lot of yokai are named for serpents are actually referring to dragons. Long ago, snakes and dragons were used interchangeably, and this illustration certainly looks more like a fancy dragon than a simple snake. On top of that, dragons are often considered to be the guardians of bodies of water. So it kind of makes sense that this is a guardian of body of water that becomes like this giant creature that came from the sea, right? Godzilla. Easy to imagine how sailors of yore might personify something like a rogue wave as a dragon. So, Namija, it basically looks like a sea serpent in the form of a wave of water. That's pretty cool. So it could be one of the... it could be one of the few baby yokais that are like a little more intangible. You know? Like it starts as a wave of water, becomes the... And I could kind of enhance the Honengyo a little bit. Check Wani, dragon-like yokai. Let's see. Wani. Sea monsters that live in deep bodies of water. They have long serpentine bodies, fins, and can breathe both air, able to shapeshift into human. Rulers of the oceans and God and sea. They live in splendid coral palaces. Word Wani first appears. First a shark. Sea was dangerous. What about the... There's not too much about their appearance. Kagewani, or large predatory fish. Let's see what's there. Okuchiwani. Isonade are mysterious shark-like sea monsters which scour the rocky coastline searching for boats to scuttle and fishermen to snatch. Their bodies are enormous and their fins are covered with countless tiny metallic barbs like a grater. They use these barbs to hook their prey, dragging them into the water to be eaten. You do the Zilla route, maybe have it make a more semi-aquatic retrosaur stance. Hey, welcome back, JC. So, chat really seems to like Zotempo. And quite frankly, I do too. Like the X or the X Factor, we were pointed out that Zotempo, it sounds like very tribal and ancient when you look at it, but then also in the exo part, exotic. So they're exotic creatures from another plane. Exo. Like, it really works. XOT, exotic. Maybe Hanzaki. Let's see. What is a retrosaur? I don't see Retrosaur. Is that like a... It's like a bunch of like DeviantArt. I like Nam... I really like Namija. Guys, look up and see if Namija is anything. Namija... Yokai.com. Yeah, it's kind of like a wave. Their bodies are made entirely of water. They move in a way that resemble a snake or a dragon. I think I'm going to do the Namija into the Honengyo, which does have a very Godzilla-like appearance, they say. And I can kind of translate it from here. So I'll do Honengyo here, Namija. I kind of like that. Let's try that out. So, Namija. So it starts off kind of like a little snake. And then I can still use this body plan. Because I don't want to make it like a mini Godzilla becomes a big Godzilla. You know? Let me look up Hanzaki real quick and then, you know. Term for vintage dinosaurs. Tail-dragging lizardy theropods. Got you. Oh, you know what? That would be kind of cool, right? To like homage to the puppet dinosaurs that kind of eventually become Godzilla. But, you know, let me quickly look at Hanzaki. Japanese giant salamander. Monstrous version of the Japanese giant salamander. These animals normally grow up to 1.5 meters. You know, that could be really cute, actually. When they do, it's the Hanzaki have grown large enough to eat humans and livestock. You know what? I kind of like that. Japanese giant salamander. So it's like a cute little claw tire thing. Becomes the Honengyo. Because I think maybe the water one might be better fit, you know, for the Kappa. It could be the Kappa and then go into the bald priest one. So let's do that. Like a very simple but in cute baby giant salamander. Because I'm going to have another like axolotl salamander thing. Or the first form of my Charizard inspired one. So let's do, instead of Namija, it will be Hanzaki. What's funny is that was on my list there. But I had decided to go for the Namija until. So let's make it like super cute. Like just a cute little chubby, sprawling. Like, it'll be a very simple design. I don't think I need to change a lot. Maybe its face is like really kind of wide, flat. Not every baby needs to be like a crazy thing. I can still give it the... Oh, but you know what? Let's make it a flat head. Oh, you know what? Maybe this one. So if it's more of a flat head. Right? We have it like this. You know what? I want it to be very cute. So I'll bring up its body like this. And they're very cute if you guys haven't seen the salamander. They're kind of blind, so maybe... No, you know what? We'll just do it like that. We'll give it a flat face. And then, yeah, maybe I'll go for a more semi-traditional Godzilla like Honengyo. I have so many Windows open chat. Yeah, the thing is, there's just so many Japanese yokai that are really cool. But I want to give more balance to, a lot of these world mythologies. I did check the Honengyo. Honengyo, um, it looks like one thing when I see a lot of illustrations, but I'm trying to give it a new kind of look as the mid stage. So the second to be Honengyo, maybe combine it with Retrosor Vintage. Interesting fact, there's one monster that inspired Godzilla, the Rhedosaurus. Oh shoot, okay, cool. I'll look up Rhedosaurus. Oh yeah, there it goes. Oh. Far north of the Arctic Circle, it's a fictional... Oh my god, this is so crazy. Yeah, maybe I'll combine Rhedosaurus with the Honengyo. Or, you know what? Wow, wait, this straight up really... Hey, this is so unfair. Rhedosaurus is one of the most influential and iconic fictional... Oh, I wish you told me this sooner. Thank you, Draco. This is good. Inspired film monsters such as Godzilla and Gamera. I think I'm definitely gonna do Rhedosaurus for the second one. That feels really right. In fact, so in that case, why don't I do the Honengyo I did have before? And have it be full circle. That's good. That's a good one. Because it's really going full circle, right? Let me go back in time. Thank God. So I'll have and I base my Honengyo not on like the illustrations I saw, but on the description. So it's a cute story where the Honengyo looks like Godzilla, but then Rhedosaurus or what is it? Rhedosaurus or Rhedosaurus inspires Godzilla. Like there's a nice kind of fusion, of like ideas merging. So let me go ahead and make him look like a cute baby by shrinking this. It makes sense, right? Yeah, let's go. Oh, look. And that already looks so much cuter with the smaller body. So the Honengyo becomes the Rhedosaurus, which becomes Godzilla. So let's go ahead, and then we'll close the stream for the day. So I redesigned the first stage. I kind of redesigned the what was it? The Skunk Ape. I finished Bigfoot, which came out really good. So let me still do my own version of Rhedosaurus. I can't believe that. Poor guy got left in the freaking dirt. Ray Harryhausen. Yeah, this is straight up kind of like, Oh, I kind of like this body plan, actually. It even feels very Zilla-like as well. So I'm going to have him kind of be, like, I'll have his leg kind of like this. And it'll be like a cuter, second stage kind of form. He'll be hunched over. And he'll be like, yeah, a body plan kind of like this. Let's see. Because it's got to feel like a teenager stage, right? So it's kind of like almost Komodo dragon-like, almost like Night Fury-esque. Yeah, he was a goat. He did so much, right? For film and design and such. All right, let's see. Simple tail. Yeah, I like this body shape quite a bit. And it's really nice because you've got like a very horizontal creature that's like kind of making its way into like an upward stance, So it's really kind of fitting for sure. Why do I feel like Kaijira, whatever I end up calling this line, Kaijira line, will become like the Charizard of and you know what, let's give him a dorsal fin too. I'll make it like kind of spiky like that, because we evolved from one dorsal fin to like a sail fin to a series of ridges, maybe, you know. Okay, I gotta do he's gotta still look cute because it's the second form. I'm gonna spread this back just a little bit. Ray movie's most memorable beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Can't believe that. I never knew that. Straight up Godzilla, yeah. Valley of Gwangi, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Many more, hell yeah. Alright, so it's kind of crocodilian, kind of like a Komodosaurus, a Komodo or a monitor lizard. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna make its feet. And that's a middle stage. It could be like a little more slim actually. And yeah, just be a little more it really feels like a Night Fury slash, you know, almost Cyclosaurus, right? I could do a version where maybe it's like lurching forward and kind of like this. No, I think it's too similar. It makes sense where he's like grounded because he's getting so heavy. And then the final one, you know, he's like this massive, you know, dinosaur, right? I wonder if I should have the back. I'll lift up the head like this. Okay. Looking pretty good. I'm gonna have this come up over here. I'll stop it at the face here. Now, again, I don't want this guy to feel a little too developed because he kind of does already. So let me be careful with how this part looks. It might be because, yeah, his chest is like feeling really strong. Let's bring him down a little bit, maybe a little more serpentine. And he's got to have attitude like a teenager, right? For the middle stage. So let's have him be this. And then how do we do horns? I don't want him to look like Charmeleon. Charmeleon's got the 1. Charizard's got the 2. Oh, you know what? I can maybe give him could give him a fin on the head. Maybe it's not that fin. He's looking pretty big. Let's go ahead and fit him into the square so there's like a little bit of consistency in size between. Should probably make him more upright, huh? Let's see. Let me flip this real quick. I don't want him to feel like Charmeleon. Because Charmeleon, you know, stands upright. So does, of course, Charmander in them, right? But, you know, I don't want him to... Okay. Let's see. Maybe... No, we definitely can't. Definitely can't give him a single spike for that head. Simple there, actually. Maybe like a bigger snout, more bulbous. The chest is over here. I do like the... that he's like a four-legged aquatic kind of creature. You know what? Yeah, maybe it is more like a sail kind of motif because he's like still kind of like aquatic, you know? You know what? Let's do something like this. Yeah. Extend his chest, his neck. Ooh, I like this. Okay. So what if the head crest was pointed downward following the spine direction but no spines? Yes. Let me read that again. What if the head crest was pointing downwards following the spine's direction? I'm not really I feel like you kind of get what you're trying to say. I'm just having trouble understanding it. And that's not you. I think you've described it, but I just can't get it. I kind of like whatever's happening here. Let's say maybe he's got like a head sail kind of thing that's here. I like this coming out here because he's got like the spike. And so, hold on, I like this. Yeah, keep it kind of simple, right? I'll have... It's kind of like the sail fin. It kind of looks like a mohawk type of thing. That way it still feels kind of aquatic, right? You can attach the fin. Obvious fact about Rodan, just like Mothra, Rodan had his own movie become full-on Godzilla vs. Kaiju. Dun 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 dun. Although, you know what? Maybe I can't use that fin mohawk thing because I think one of my seahorses has them. Okay. So let's do... This is my version of Charmeleon, essentially. I think everyone's going to have a Kaijira on their team. Let's be honest. I'm going to just do... These kind of claws up in the front like this. He might look a little too cartoony and simple for now, but again, just getting the idea down is the first important thing, right? Let's do... The head definitely feels like it's missing something. So I do give the next guy, he's got like these two devil kind of horns. What if I put it like there? And they shift down. Team Kaijira. Let me do... Just got home from singing stuff. Okay, been listening on the ride home. All right, salute, salute. Okay, I like this. I like this. Maybe... Got like Spyro vibes, right, chat? It's the back that's kind of... Maybe it's something like this. Where it's like two sides of like spines kind of coming down. Ooh, I kind of like that. That does feel like a mini Charizard, though. Damn you, Charizard. Damn you. I'm going to also shrink his head a little bit so it doesn't feel too... Actually, it looks, his head looks like Mewtwo or something as well. What if the horns haven't fully hardened? That's probably true, but that's more like Pokemon way of thinking. With my designs, they're kind of like... I might be leaning into more Pokemon like oriented designs, right? Like from an ecological or like evolutionary standpoint. But for now, like each one kind of like has the vibe, if that makes sense. The sum of all of its part is kind of the thing. Otherwise, yeah, if I were doing like a Pokemon thing, it would definitely be easier. So we've got... Okay, let's see. It's almost there. I can almost say... Spyro new character, Rito. Honestly, right? Unless I... Alright, let's see. We're almost there. Oh, God, it's already 3 hours? Crap. Let me start wrapping this up. I'm going to try and do... If anything, I could always work on this later. Let's do... And I will probably... Is that too strong of a neck? You can make the horns flowy. Let's see. I do think he should have some sort of Spinosaurus kind of tail. You know what? Yeah, let me extend out his face like this. I like that kind of arch. Let me look up Spinosaur. When I'm looking up Rhedosaurus, he's got like these you know what? So maybe... That still feels like Charmeleon with the single thing. You know? Maybe I bring the body plan like this. So it's less like the Rhedosaur. And he's still maybe like hunched down a little bit. Like he's still somewhat hunched, but he's not standing upright. You know, he's like almost there. Now he looks like a crocodile kind of. You know what? I'll still give him the four-legged feel. Oh, you know what? Let me just give him, yeah, like these kind of aquatic kind of hands, maybe. Yeah, that's cool. Making great progress. Thank you, thank you. This one is really kicking my ass. Let me go ahead and... Part of me wants to like dip his head kind of low like this, but... Like a Dimetrodon, yeah. Damn. I'm getting close. I'm definitely getting close. I like the kind of through line that I'm seeing. Take care, take care. I'm probably also going to call it in a little bit. I've been on... Coming on 3 hours and 15 minutes. Let's see. Why is this so hard? Oh yeah, making a teenage Godzilla is very hard. I guess. Let's lift up the neck. Oh, you know what? Maybe he could be like a crocodile situation where he's got like a big jaw. You know, like the teenager part, you know? Maybe it's something like that. Take care and good night. I might end up calling it if everyone's calling it as well. This is a very, very hard prompt. Yeah. My life as a teenage Godzilla. My life as a teenage robot. Let's do... Well, you know what? It may have to be more like Night Fury. See how I gotta get this shape. Let's do... Ooh, what if it's like this? Gotta keep this man in check. Yeah, that's true. I have not stretched in a long time. I probably should hop off before I start complaining about my hand, and I haven't stretched for like 2 hours. Thank you, JC. Oof. Yeah, this Night Fury looking one is kind of nice. Oh, that really just looks like Night Fury. Hmm. Barely remember what I had for breakfast. Now that just looks like Inteleon. All right. I'm probably just going to call it here, chat. I'm going to just go through a million permutations otherwise. But at the very least, we now have like the Rhedosaurus, which high key inspired Godzilla, which is news to me, you know? And I think that'll be pretty cool. I'll have to look up. Ooh, I kind of like the horns coming out like this, just like my Godzilla has got the horns. Otherwise, it'll be pretty simple. I think I do want some sort of. Maybe it's like a dorsal fin here. And then like. Yeah, something like that. It's like a cuter version of Rhedosaurus. Honestly, not bad. I'll look up the Rhedosaurus more and try to like emulate the body shape a little more. Actually, I kind of like this to close off the night. Like a little shark puppy. And if anything, I can always adjust the Honengyo to be something else, like the... I forgot what it was called. If I wanted to make it simple, like a newt. You know. But this is kind of a good line, I think. With the flow. This, to this, to this. I like it. Alright, I'm going to let my hand rest, chat. It's been real. Almost 3.5 hours today. Hopefully I have like a shorter stream for tomorrow so I can, you know, make sure I don't destroy my hand. I do work outside of here, so, you know, I gotta find that balance. I gotta say, I do like this shape that's going on for this guy right here. But cool, we're gonna call it, chat. Take badass care. Will do, will do. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. I'll see you all for the next one. Make sure you guys leave a like, okay?